So one of the things that I love to say to my kids, and I'm not sure I'm anyone to give anyone parental advice, but one of the things that I say to them is, are we making good choices? Are we making good decisions? And so today, what I want to do is share with you some ideas from this book, Essentialism. And so for those who are following along, it's from Greg McKeown. It's my top leadership book that I share with most people that ask me what's a good book recommendation. And here he's talking about how to be selective or how to make decisions. And there are two surprising things that I think I want to share, which is one is making room to play more. So play is one, and two is learning to sleep better and making sure you get your good night's sleep. And so here, I'm just going to share with you some quotes that stuck out to me today in my reading. As I've shared before, I read this 5 times already, and this is probably the book that I applied to my life. A lot of the principles and ideas from the book that I applied to my life that I have actually found great results. And so for me, when I share some of these ideas, I'm kind of proof and evidence that these things work. So one is this: our highest priority is to protect our ability to prioritize. And the idea is, if you're tired, you make bad decisions and you don't know how to prioritize, and you just go with whatever's in front of you because you're too tired to think and process and make good decisions. And secondly, if you don't utilize your imagination and your creativity and begin to have kind of a broadening perspective, you're not going to prioritize either, because you actually won't know like what's more important or not. You just kind of go and drift with kind of what is brought to you. And so there's this idea of making decisions because of the by design, not by default. And so most of you guys who are watching these kind of videos, you want to see a change in your life and in your community or in your family or in your workplace. And so one of the things I know for sure is you're not okay with the status quo and looking for change. And so you don't want to just kind of make decisions by default, but you really want to make decisions by design that you're being very intentional about. And one of the best ways to kind of be creative and be thoughtful about design is to make room to have a lot of play and utilize some of the other sides of your brain that's not just on logic, but it's on creativity and possibilities and imagination. And so our highest priority is to protect our ability to prioritize, and really it's to protect what they call the asset, which is you, right? You as a person is really important. And that's why sleep is so important. And so there's so much research out there that recovery and rest is just as vital as deliberate practice in terms of as a driver of peak performance. Pretty much, the whole kind of chapter on sleep is really about, how to help you to think, plan, or prioritize or see the bigger picture. And when your brain is barely functioning or you're tired, those decisions are almost impossible. And it's really hard to discern what is essential, right, which is the vital few, to the trivial many, the things that are unimportant and doesn't matter, but in the moment, because it's so pressing, it feels like it does. So sleep is really important, and this is the one area where I struggle with the most. And so there's something called sleep hygiene, digital sunset. So I made videos about it, and I keep saying that this is what I want to do, but it's been an epic failure since February actually. And so I'm going to try really hard and probably prioritize sleep. Now, if you could tell in my voice, I'm a little bit tired because I've been working a lot. I'm doing a lot of things. And so this book is coming just at the right time to help remind me that I could less but better, and I could do more by doing less. Now let's talk a little bit about play and the power of imagination. And so this is a big quote that he adds in this book, right? It's in these big, bold letters. And he says this: play doesn't just help us to explore what is essential, so to kind of understand and see what is a vital few, what is essential in our lives, but it is essential in and of itself. And so one of the vital fews is play, to use our imagination, to use our creativity. And it is so, so important. Here's another quote. This is from Albert Einstein. He says this: when I examine myself and my methods of thought, I come to the conclusion that the gift of fantasy or imagination has meant more to me than my talent for absorbing positive knowledge. And so more than his like sitting around and thinking, his ability to go into imagination, and he calls it the gift of fantasy, has meant a lot more to Albert Einstein. And so again, if Albert Einstein says play is important, I think we could take his advice. And another thing that play does is stimulates a part of the brain involved in both careful and logical reasoning. So when you're playing games or when you're playing Catan, which is a game that I enjoy, and carefree, unbound exploration. And so it does both at the same time when you're able to do that. And so again, it's really, really great. But the biggest kind of quote that I want to share with you is this. When we play, we are engaged in the purest expression of our humanity, the truest expression of our individuality. And so what they're saying is play is what makes us human. And so for me, that's what I'm going to try to work on. As I shared in a few videos back, one of the ways that I am enjoying play and imagination and just being carefree and exploratory stuff is this world of Pokemon. I started this about a couple of years ago with my son, and it's been really fun to collect the cards and organize them and kind of lay them out, where I get to kind of, again, step into kind of this imaginatory world of Pokemon, but also enjoy kind of the storylines and the lore of it, but also have a binder and some collectibles where I could kind of organize and create my own expression of it. So anywho, just as a almost 50-year-old saying that, a little bit embarrassing, but a friend of mine said, don't be embarrassed, own it, right? So that's my play. Sleep-wise, one of the things that I've been trying to do is start to incorporate what they call a midday nap, or a siesta, I think the Europeans call it. And one of the things that I've learned way back when I used to do this a lot more, and I know not everyone has this privilege to be able to take a nap in the middle of the day. And so I understand this is coming from a place of privilege. But taking a 25-minute nap, and I had a eye mask and noise canceling headphones, and then on my phone I had a 25-minute shortcut timer. And so what I'll do is I'll just close my eyes, shut out the world, cover my ears, and take a 25-minute nap. And usually when I wake up from a 25-minute nap, I feel like I have a brand new day. And so some people call this having 2 days in one day. And so wake up early, get a lot of things that you want to get done, do a lot of the creative work in the morning, take a 25-minute nap, reset, and then do all the productive work in the afternoon. When I was able to control my calendar in that way, it was highly productive and highly also expansive in terms of the ideas I was creating. And so I'm going to try to incorporate that. I won't be able to do it as often as I want, but I could just head into my car from the office and take a quick nap in my car in that way. And so we'll see how that plays out. So play and sleep is really important of how to make good decisions. So I know I said I'm talking about how to make good decisions, but those two are the essential, vital few that I think if you actually could incorporate and integrate into our lives, that's what I'm going to do. It might help us to make better decisions. That's going to help us to design and live a better life. So for those who are brand new and wondering what the heck is this video about, so this is part of my Examine Life series. What I've been doing is, as I'm reading and learning and growing, I just simply turn on the camera and I think out loud with you and bring you into how someone who's just a simple, ordinary guy living in Southern California, raising a family, is processing through how he wants to live a meaningful life, build a beautiful home for my family, and hopefully create a better future. And so for those who are watching up to this point, once again, thank you for watching. Thank you for your time and attention. Appreciate it. All the new subscribers, I am surprised of how you guys are starting to subscribe. And I mean, I'm not doing anything, but I'm just so grateful that you guys are saying, are willing to journey with me. And so, so that's it for today. Hope you guys have a wonderful weekend, and I'll see you next time. Bye.